Take me back to the nights we felt alive, picking up the pieces on a summer night. I didn't know that I would feel just like my heart's on fire whenever I'm with you. Cause we go back in time to thrills I miss and all the things I wish we did. All I know is that I need somebody like you. Cause I can't waste another night sitting here alone, hoping for your voice on the telephone. I know it's a supercut as you walk away, playing in my mind all the things I'd never. Close my eyes and the sky's on fire. I can't waste another night sitting here alone. We can do it all again and I'll never let you go.
Only the toughest of beards will be tested.
Commence time machine.
Get your joysticks today and enjoy the evolution of your daily routine and notice the new tools of you.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Welcome to DNG Live. I'm Dina Nina Martinez.
And I'm Greg Potter, and I'm realizing that I have not really talked to anyone all day. So I don't know, I don't know where I sit. I mean, I've talked to some people, but I haven't had to be presentable. So I don't know if I'm too loud. Get ready for it.
Well, I think you look amazing, and I think that you're very presentable.
I've had lots
today.
of sun this week.
You did.
Yeah, lots of sun. Oh, yeah. Christine.
It's been hot.
It's been so hot. Christine and I went with some friends from Milwaukee camping. Have you ever camped? You camped before, right?
When I was a kid and once in my 20s.
Okay.
Okay, 30s.
We grew up camping. It was an inexpensive way to go do a bunch of stuff and not, have to pay money. Hence the reason why I said inexpensive. Anyway, self-editing while I'm speaking. So we went to go tubing up on the Wolf River, which was a lot of fun, but it was also so anxious filled. People are okay. First of all, we had a rustic campsite. Rustic. No electricity, no water. So rustic.
They call them primitive in Texas.
So it was good though. We had a great time. And Christine and I bought that half a cow, and so we had lots of meat and stuff. So we made burgers and hot dogs for everyone, and then we got up the next morning. We made a big breakfast, and then we went to get on a bus to go tubing. And we went into this thinking that this is a socially responsible thing to do. It's acceptable. We're keeping our distance from each other, wearing masks, but no one else up north is. And we got on this bus with 50 other people in our masks and and did our best to just and we were standing and we weren't, everyone used sanitizer immediately getting off. And we did what I would do. If I knew someone had a cold around me, I would take this. So I'm confident that we got out of it alive, but it was the anxiety of that bus and then the line to get your tubes and then to get on another. But we managed to get the bus driver tubes. We managed to get the bus driver to just take our group when we went from the tube place to the drop-off place at the river, and that worked out really well. And then we were on there, and it was gorgeous and wonderful, but I did something to my shoulder, and I can only go that high.
This is when you're getting older.
Anyway, and then today I was on the water again, too, and listeners, viewers, whatever you want to call yourself.
Viewer,
I might be a little bit of a wreck today, so just go with it. Anyway, that's my disclaimer. No more apologies.
I'm a little bit of a wreck too because I was starving and I decided to go get some food, and I'm going to talk about this. So
Go
I
on.
found out this week that
that's our stuff in the agenda.
right. Some people that I live with, I just realized that they are anti-maskers, and like they're so anti-maskers that they listen to podcasts at the house about not wearing masks. And
they're also extremely hippie. Like
very vegan, very hippie. That's fine. Like I can get on board with that, but I'm like
the two together that doesn't match in my mind. Like if I would, I would. My bias is that a vegan would also be one that wants to keep everyone safe.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and they're awesome and they're really sweet, you know. But I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? So I had a panic attack about it a couple of times this week. More than a couple of times this week, pretty much constantly for the last few days. 4 days, 5 days, last week. It's been a week of panicking. So today I'm hungry and I was like, I'm going to go to Qdoba. I'm going to get the Beyond Meat, burrito bowl. I'm very excited about it. I get there and 2 white men walk in without masks. And I was like, I can't go in. So then I go over to their competitor, Chipotle. And I walk in, and the guy at making my tortilla for whatever didn't have a mask on his nose. It was under his nose. And I'm like, can I have you put your mask over your nose and wash your hands? And I don't want to be a Karen. I don't want to be a Karen. I felt very Karen. And then while he was washing his hands, I was just like, I can't, because there were other people in the whole room. We have a mask mandate in Madison, right? We
do. Like anywhere you go inside somewhere that is public, you have to wear your mask by the Dane County Department of Health.
And then I go to another place that you just drive through, grab a burrito, and then leave, right?
It's in the same genre.
It is in the same genre. And that guy didn't have a mask on his nose either. It was under his nose. And I got the food and I go, just so you know, it doesn't work if it's not on your nose. And I'm really nice. And he just throws me my receipt. And I'm like, I understand that it's uncomfortable. I understand it's uncomfortable. Like 100%. Like I wore mine for an extended period of time and I felt like my lips were getting chapped from it. You know, like I get that it's uncomfortable. It is not comfortable to wear a fucking mask. But you don't wear a mask for comfort.
Right.
This is apparently a D rant today.
No, I mean, and also I don't think this makes you a Karen. A Karen is going to watch out for what she specifically believes, regardless of if it's in the betterment of everyone else around them. And what you're asking is something that was created, put in place. It's not like you then said, what's your manager? Same.
Right. I wanted to call so bad. I didn't. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I feel very uncomfortable with the fact that we have a mandate and people are like, I went to the Stop and Go place, right? Same thing, mask under the nose. Like you breathe moisture comes out of your nose just like it does out of your mouth, even though I think that because we talk really loud, it comes out of our mouth more, but it still comes out and could get on it and contaminate it. And you guys, this isn't a fucking joke. Like, and we're not trying to steal people's rights by making them wear masks. It is a temporary thing. It's not changing the law to eternally wear masks in public. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Get off your fucking high horse to freedom and put a goddamn mask on and protect people. This isn't about you and it's not about your freedoms. It's not fucking up your freedom. You're not going to have to wear a mask for the rest of your life unless you die from COVID.
That was a rant.
Thank you. I am so furious and so...
My thing
I'm
is...
exhausted and I'm stressed. I'm probably going to cry a little bit right now because I'm so fucking stressed out.
Cry.
I'm crying.
Dina, get on your soapbox and cry.
I do not understand.
And then scream at everyone again.
Thank you.
I
pounded on the table, so probably.
My thing is, and I heard something pretty drastic about a local business who cuts hair that's a chain. And
I know that chain well.
yes, and what I heard was that they had someone test positive for COVID, one of their stylists, and then they all got in the same car and went to Alliant Energy Center, where in Madison, where we're getting mass tested. And so put them all together just in case they didn't all have it. Now let's try and make sure they do. And then didn't tell anyone who they took care of, any clients, or they didn't tell the people who came in to like take over the store until they found out. So the reason I bring this in is because it's now not even just about whether the health department said this or whether it's transparency. And it gets to, as my lovely friend Jess and I were talking this week about, it's like STDs. Like, you have to be transparent on what you're doing, on how you're doing it, and take responsibility that if something happens and you didn't do the right precautions to cause your store to close, then your store has to close. And also, you have to be just transparent with everything. Like, if everyone's just transparent, specifically businesses, then it's a quick shutdown, get it taken care of, and open back up. That's what we're gonna be dealing with for a very long time.
And if everybody would just fucking wear a mask, and they've been saying this again, like I've seen it several times this week. If everybody would wear a mask for 6 weeks to 8 weeks or whatever, we could considerably cut the life of this virus and the spread of this virus. Considerably. I am so mad. I'm so mad and I'm so stressed because I don't give a fuck if you want your freedoms or if you want whatever. What I want is for you to wear a mask for me, for Greg, for anybody else in your family, anybody, no matter what. It doesn't do any harm to you. And people are saying, oh, well, I have a respiratory disease. Bull fucking shit. Because if you go to the hospital with your respiratory disease and they're going to make you put on a mask, I'm livid. I'm so livid and I'm so stressed.
I understand. I'm only giggling because I'm envisioning our viewers just at home by themselves in their own room putting on masks because you just demanded that out of them.
I mean, like, I get it. Like, you and I, we've been close to each other. We talk to each other, and I try to be, like, other than in this situation right now, we try to be pretty, we're not close. We'll hug.
And also,
face turned opposite.
Also, if one of us gets it, like, it's part of the quarantine, if you get it, you better believe that I would be there by your side. It's part of the quarantine. Yeah. It's like the unspoken.
Like, we would all be convalescing in Greg or Christine's house. Like, that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We'd get through it. Anyway.
Thank you. I'm still so mad about this.
I have something else to say.
And I know when our guest gets on, she's going to be
mad
about it.
That's why I'm kind of just holding off until Ann Walker's coming on today. Okay. So one other thing happened before we get into news updates that I want to talk about. And it's my dog that I got 3 months ago. She sits.
She does.
She listens and she sits. It's amazing. And Dina confirmed it because Dina stayed at my house this weekend. And was everything okay for you?
Yeah. I just felt so bad for her because she's had a really hard life up till now, So she's really neurotic. So walking her and Gertie at the same time is difficult because
she'll start doing circles.
She just wants to go around me and wrap myself. And I'm like, okay, I figured out a method. But I'm that crazy old lady also, walking your dog.
Dina will be trying out for the baton tournament.
And then there are some ladies down at the corner that feel very, I'm going to be very judgy right now on this. They feel very methy. Like they're always out there.
And they're always
awake. I don't know, but they're always like, hi, Ophelia.
They all know her name.
Every single time. And it's weird. But it's lovely at the same time.
Did you meet any of the hot guys with dogs that know who Ophelia is?
So no, I wish I would have, but I was talking to this really nice guy, and then I was talking about how cute she is when she goes into the water, and then all of a sudden he's like, well, this dog went into the water. And do you remember on the news it talked about the dog that almost died? That was him. And then I was like, way to bring it down. And I was like, okay, bye.
Which dog did he have?
He thought it was a Kelpie.
That's how we keep
He thought it was an Australian Kelpie, but I don't think it looks anything like an Australian Kelpie.
Is it really beautiful eyes with no tail?
I didn't notice the tail, but it had this really black and really light tan, like brown. It was really
If you can't tell, I have a database of people who I want to go on a date with who have dogs in my neighborhood, and I'll keep them categorized by dog. And I know most of their dogs' names, but I don't know their names.
I mean, fair.
Like newest is Leo, the beautiful chocolate lab in the morning that I see, but he's not as beautiful as his owner.
I love that. Are any of you guys dog owners? And comment in the messages. Let us know. Do you know like people's names with their dogs? What is your how do you relate to people as you're walking?
And also, what is the best practice for trying to get a date while you're walking your dog?
Yeah. I really thought Gertie was going to be a great wing woman, and then all of a sudden she turned into being like an asshole. So we are really excited. Ann Walker is going to be our guest today.
She has been with us ever since we started the podcast, way back 2008. And there was a point in our podcasting that she would just come on show after show. She was on a lot.
She was like our co-host for a while.
Yes, and yeah. So if you've never met Ann Walker, you're going to meet her very soon.
Also, so we haven't been diligent about this, but if everybody could go over here, that's not going to work.
I'm looking down at it.
Okay, Dina and Greg Show. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, Dina and Greg Show. And then also Dina and Greg on Twitter. And then Dina and Greg Show on .com.
I wasn't sure you were trying to pick my nose.
Nope. Nope, that was that. So please make sure that you follow us, and we'd love that. And then these are some personal socials.
Great.
What's next?
Let's talk about some news from this week because a lot of shit hit the fan. Glasses are going on for this one because I am dying. and I'm actually going to read something to you in a second. So anyway.
Awesome. So do you want to start?
You go for it.
Okay. So Kanye actually officially submitted his papers to run for president, and he's planning a rally for his birthday in South Carolina, apparently. And this was my favorite quote in the article. It said he's registered in, I think, 2 states. Said a source familiar with campaign. It's such a baby organization. It doesn't even have a logo.
That just seems okay. These are a mess.
That's his website. This is the website. There's no clicky things. This is the website.
That can't be right. Okay, so
Kanye2020.country. It was linked in the article, and the article is Politico.
It's just that maybe that's true, but it's shocking because from what we know about Kanye, mentally he's kind of everywhere. But when it comes to professional work, he's really a stickler on getting stuff right. And on top of it, he's married to Kim, and she tends to she's a marketing person, really, essentially, when it comes down to it. So I'm shocked that this is the website.
They had a 2-hour meeting to say, hey, what are we going to make our initial website look like? Then this is what they came up with.
Do you think, and I want to ask Ann this too when she comes on, but do you think that this is just some sort of Trump ploy to divide the Democratic votes or the non-Trump votes, to divide them up a little bit? Because really Kanye is friends with Trump. Everyone's been friends with Trump in the last 30 years. Let's not forget that site. But really, in this presidential like term, Kanye and Kim have been to the White House. And Kim actually used her platform to get a couple things done, which I applaud. But Kanye is in it for ego, from what I understand. And so I think that there could be something else.
I don't
and I like to
with
think of
that.
it because, you know what I mean? I also like conspiracy theories. So
I do too. Except for the mask ones. What?
Okay. This week you heard about Ruth Bader Ginsburg this week, right?
Yes.
She has cancer again, and she is not leaving the court. We're back there. Sorry. I'm so sorry. She's not leaving the court, and she is holding on for us. Like, I just cannot wait to watch the movie of just the years that she, like, her health was so important to everyone for her. Like, just like, love and light and prayers. RBG.
Love and light and all the prayers and all the healing juju and all the love.
Because your time on earth is not done yet, and we need you.
Please don't let it be done yet. For our highest good.
Although in the way that has been voting with the Supreme Court lately, you know, I mean, they've been a couple of, Kasich, I'm not saying his last name right. My brain just stopped. Anyway, he voted, for the last two votes for what we need voted for. So, but that also could just be like a political backgammon game. Anyway,
yeah,
that's my story.
I just want that court to not change before Trump is out. But, you know, who knows when that will be.
Right.
You're next. Oh, no, I'm next.
Well, I can keep talking.
Hi, I'm next. So there was an article on the Daily Beast, and I'm obsessed with it. It said the clickbait on the news when I was searching for news said Texas is fucked. So there's this guy. He is it's called Trust Me, Texas is in deep, deep trouble. He worked for the Army and was on the COVID response team, started working with it immediately in February when everything happened. And they're going through and looking at how everything in Texas is really like increasing. And then Ted Cruz went out without a mask to multiple places. And then all of a sudden, and then they're looking at the weather forecast. So if we have a major disaster, like our infrastructure is already almost at capacity. Like there's no way that we can respond well with anything. And there are 19 named storms already anticipated for the hurricane season, which is starting soon.
Well, it's already
started.
Yeah, and it started early, and we're already at more storms than we normally would be at this time.
19 named storms now. 19. And you're looking at Texas, and it's right in that Gulf, and it'll push it up through central and eastern Texas, you know, almost to the top of the state some of the times, you know. Definitely, and sometimes further inland, you know, up and through Oklahoma.
Well, even just a couple of weeks ago, we had the remnants up here in Wisconsin from a tropical storm. Yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna end my piece on news with just two COVID pieces. First is we officially left a World Health Organization this week. Well, we began it, but basically we're done. So what does that mean? That means a lot. But right now in the time of COVID, that was also a check and balance system for the CDC. And so now the CDC is probably, what I've heard and what I've read, is probably going to be reporting less cases. It's just... And also what it does with leaving the World Health Organization, like let's say Biden gets elected and Biden puts us back in, our credibility as a country on and then is another psycho going to get voted in and then you leave? So it's just... And
that's with every organization and everything that we've left.
Right.
And, you know,
Paris Treaty, I mean, sorry, I thought you were going to go on.
No. That was,
And... it's just another nail in that coffin. And also the fact that we as a people, period, we just have to start have the global mindset, and we're so far from it right now in this country. And I don't think that's a political thing. I don't think that's a partisan thing. I just think that is a American societal thing that we really have to start, get on the global outbreak. I was listening to Russell Brand's podcast and the one with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and now he talks about the first time they went to the moon when they took that picture and sent it back. That picture of the Earth from the moon was so much. That's what created the first Earth Day. That the EPA was created right after that. These all things happened because the world could get emotional about what we were really living on. And so it was just a reminder of where we have to get as a global mindset. And then my last thing tied to that was that Wisconsin has been reported in multiple different publications that we are the worst state on slowing down the spread of COVID. And it's not shocking when on April 7th, when we had a primary, the Supreme Court said, nope, Wisconsin is going to their polling zones. They cannot vote from home, or they cannot extend it. And then when the Supreme Court said that our governor, Tony Evers, was not, oh my God, my brain just stopped, when he could not have a stay-at-home act, and Memorial Day weekend, everyone went out to play. Not shocked that Wisconsin. Anyway, I'm talking too much.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. It's crazy. There's another story in Texas that came out of Texas just because it just seems like we've been talking about Florida, but Texas is really fucked. And my family are from there, so I have family there and I go there occasionally, generally once or twice a year. Now days that we get along better. So in Nueces County, Texas, which is in the Gulf Coast, Corpus Christi is in Nueces County, there have been 85 infants that have tested positive for COVID. 85 infants under a year.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's unthinkable. Yeah. Between things like that and the fact that more and more public figures are getting tested positive, and that everyone is getting to know more and more people who have either had it or 2 degrees of separation from people who have had it. Something, hopefully we can reevaluate as a group and not just letting our government decide for us. So.
Now, I know that Australia is a fraction of the United States population. Landmass, pretty close, but population, minuscule.
Did you get that from the Wikipedias?
I did. So, but I was watching ABC News, ABC Australia News, and they were talking about how a family from a certain area, I think they were from Melbourne, and they went to Sydney, right? Or the area. So they traveled outside of the area, had a thing, had a work trip, right? They pinpointed an outbreak to these people from this one town that came in. They pinpointed an outbreak and talked about it on national news. Have you heard any pinpointing at all in the United States?
No, because we're not giving our contract tracers any power. We're not empowering them. We're just they're working their ass off and we're not listening to them. Is basically what I'm saying.
So looking at the response, even though there are a lot of things that Australia, their government is kind of sometimes backwards on, not just honestly, we have taken the cake. Now Australia has better tracing and contact tracing. Even if we did it based on the amount of people in Australia in our population, if we narrowed it down to states and they started contact tracing and they started wearing fucking masks, I'm not bitter about it at all.
But they are, and it's showing
but-
us exactly where it's happening, and we're not listening. Like with in Wisconsin right now, with the highest number getting it is 20 to 30-year-olds, and it's because the contract tracers are saying it's because they're going to the bars. But
they didn't say Jane Smalley from Edgerton went to a bar, did they?
They have that knowledge.
Do they?
Like, we're just not listening to it.
Okay, then we're not reporting it. They're not reporting it anywhere because okay. I just was like, oh, I'm listening to this on Australian news and we're not seeing anything about it.
And if we were properly doing contract tracing, like when you go to a restaurant or go to a store, that you sign in, like that's proper full-on contract tracing, but that impedes people's rights here in this country. And even though the role of government is really to help us when we can't help ourselves. Anyway, let's move on. That got very.
I have one Soshi, maybe two.
I have two.
Okay, you go first.
Well, you go first. Well,
you go first because I gotta set it
okay.
up. Okay, there we go. You're there. Okay. We are gonna get there. Thanks for working with us.
Wait, am I on or I thought you were doing something?
Well, I'm getting there. Okay. Well, okay. Since we're here now, how about we do this? So I was cruising through the socials. I was cruising through the socials and I was on TikTok and my friend Sarah, this is her, had this amazing little thing. So let me play it if I can find it.
Should we describe what OnlyFans is first?
Yes. I didn't know for sure, but I had a suspicion about what it was.
Okay. So OnlyFans, for viewers who don't know, is it's an appendage of Instagram from what I understand.
Oh.
And it's porn. It's like self-made porn. Only for fans, hence only for fans. Yeah. So so that's
I was assuming it was porn.
It's like a social media of porn.
Okay. Basically. So But this is Sarah Hartshorn, and she lives in New York City. You may know her from America's Next Top Model. She was considered plus size model on that once. So here we go.
Well, are you turned on? Oh, that's super. Okay, well, down here, where are you going? Well, that is just rude, is what that is. I mean, I shaved my chops for this. Jeez Louise. Oh, I think I still got some of that hot dish left over. I'm going to throw that in the oven, and that is going to be nice for supper, okay? This is a waste of time. I don't even know what I'm doing. All right, okay, Alan, can you come help me?
I loved it so much. I was dying. I was laughing so hard because I'm like, she's amazing. I'm going to have to turn on the air conditioner.
Okay.
So it may get a little louder. I apologize. I am schwitzing.
Okay.
Well, so we'll go to you.
So, mine is, my first one is this week, as we know, Naya Rivera from Glee passed away, and she was found in a lake. Her son was found in a boat by himself, and then they found her body. Anyway, so of course, I mean, when a star dies and a star passes away, especially someone so young and someone like that's horrific. And but I saw this Instagram story from someone that I love and I really trust in her opinion. And it was just talking and I reposted it. And then I got a bunch of feedback from it. So I want to apologize to anyone who took that the wrong way. My repost was just looking at it that I hope that we get to a place where some of these people who have died who don't have celebrity, that they get a little bit more fanfare and they get acknowledgement too. When you have a connection with someone, you should by all means continue to mourn them in the way that you feel needed to, and the way that you feel best for your process. But also perspective, I think that right now, when we've reached almost 140,000 people dead of COVID, when continued trans Black young people are getting killed, Black Lives Matter, and all this. That just the perspective of yes, it's sad that this young celebrity passed away, but it's also, and it's sad that all these other things are happening too. And I posted that to keep it on the front of our minds. So thank you for listening. That's that.
Can you keep? Continue?
Yes, I will go into my next one because my next one is a lot more uplifting. So, what just happened? Okay, so from the LA Times this week. So Susan Orlean, I don't know if you know her, but she is a writer for the New Yorker, and she got drunk on Friday and decided to start tweeting. And the tweets were like, one was, if I do RE, we know who I am, know who is I in my house. And she just tweeted all this tweets. Well, Kathy Griffin picked up on them. And a lot of other people did. And so these tweets, so the LA Times did a story just looking at, like, asking her about how she felt the next day and what was going on. And it's just hilarious because it didn't, no harm, no foul. Like, it was something funny that happened. No one lost any jobs. No one, like, there is a way that we can still make mistakes and still keep going in, like, with whatever capacity we are, and be humorous about it. I think the best part of the story is that she had humility in everything, but it was hilarious. Like, go through her tweets. I'll post the LA Times article probably tomorrow, and it's hilarious. Yeah. And Susan Orlean, I love you so much. Thank you.
I love it. Sure. What you watching, Greg?
What you watching?
Oh my God. So this week I have been watching a lot of things. First one, there's a documentary on Netflix called We Are One that is so good. If you haven't watched it, it's heavy subtitles. It is about a guy who starts meeting with people that are doing making change within their spheres of influence, and they bring them together to film this video, this music video called Solidarité, and it's an amazing film. And you just see how people are fighting for equality, from women trying to be, trying to not be murdered and beaten and everything in Brazil, to a Black African immigrant in Philadelphia trying to raise awareness of racism and all that stuff. So it's really good. We Are One.
Fantastic. I watched the Here She Comes Again trailer on Hulu of Dolly Parton. July is going to be a strictly when we get to August, I don't even know what month it is. When we get to August, it is going to be a strictly Dolly Parton month, because I'm going to actually finish watching this. I'm going to listen to the NPR Dolly podcast, The Life of Dolly or whatever it is. But this all came to fruition when I was watching Designing Women.
I love it.
And there was an episode, because I got home this morning and I called in bed for a little bit, and there was an episode that there was like racism, shaming fat people, elderly issues, all in one episode of Designing Women. And I kept trying to think, what was going on in the writers' minds in 1989 that they had to decide to, like, take on all this all at once. Second, that then went to the next episode where Charlene is pregnant. She has a dream, and Dolly Parton is her guardian celebrity angel. So that's how the Dolly thing started. That's all I really have. I didn't watch a lot this week, but I'm ready for Here She Comes Again for the rest of it.
All right. And then my final one, I should be on camera right now. My final one that I'm watching that I wanted to really talk about. So Paige, my friend, sent me this video, and she was like, "You've got to watch this movie. It's called Vivarium, Vivarium, and it is so trippy. And it has Jesse Eisenberg from The Social Network and a bunch of other things in it, and Imogen Poot. It's really interesting. It's really interesting is what I'm going to say, because I can't give anything away. So it's so good. I watched it today and I was like, holy cow.
That's very exciting. I'm excited about it.
I'm excited that you're excited about it.
I'm also excited because I peeked over to your computer and saw a hat.
Yes. We are about to welcome our guest. We're so excited. She has been on Sorted Lives and a million other things. She is an incredible friend of the show, as well as a friend of Dina and Greg. Hi, Ann Walker.
I'm glad you have that picture of me up there, because I knew I was going to forget. I knew it. I was going to come on with eyelashes and lots of makeup and just a lot of bullshit. And then I get your text or your Facebook thing that this is just so sad. This is really sad, my friends. But welcome to my home.
We love that we get a chance to see you, first of all.
Yeah.
We miss you.
I want to hug your face so bad. This is we'll just bring you on we'll bring you on again very soon. And then
Please do. Possibly. I was making notes to myself. I didn't set an alarm. My daughter is telling me, you didn't set an alarm. You didn't set an alarm.
What is going on with you these days? I mean, what isn't going on with you? Because we really know.
Quarantined. I'm just quarantined. I can't go anywhere. I don't do anything. I'm in my pajamas still.
Yes. I'm so jealous.
Oh my God. At least you people are out doing things. I'm sitting here with my phone and the fact that they have released last night late, they told us that they are releasing more nationwide of those storm fucking troopers all over the nation. Bill Barr is saying, we're going to put them out everywhere. Well, they're going to say we've got martial law declared later on, and then they're going to take over the election. They're going to take over everything, and we're going to have to fight like hell to get our country back. I swear to you, it's going to happen unless we take note now.
Right. That's the point. Like, we have to wake up now, because this is all the ducks are coming into a row where this can very possibly happen.
I'm glad you have my picture up there. Really, you could move that picture over into my box and maybe we could.
Sadly, I can't. I tried.
No.
Speaking of designing women and Ann Walker, also, just so you know, that episode that you're on came on recently, and I'm like, oh, it's Ann.
Which one?
The Designing Women, where you were the mother of the gay kid, maybe, or I can't remember.
There's a little Vietnamese boat child.
Oh, that's what it is. Yes.
And Suzette, I was like 5 years old there. I was like 5 years fucking old. It's ridiculous.
You're amazing.
Oh yes, this is just amazing, isn't it?
I love you so much. No matter if you have a ranchero face or not.
Oh, I do. You remember the ranchero?
Of course we do. That was the first episode that you taught us what ranchero face was.
Yes.
I remember it sitting in the driveway.
Yes. Finally gave it away.
I love it.
Okay, so what else on Ann's rant do you have ready to go at us or bring up?
It's really, when I saw that last night, I started on my, what do you call that? The tweeting thing. Tweets?
Twitter, yeah.
Twitter.
Tweeting thing works.
Anyway, I saw that and then I started tweeting. I just started tweeting out. And then when I noticed somebody saying something about it, I would retweet. And then today I've been watching, and people are getting it. They're getting the knowledge, and the Nadler, and that Justice Committee in the House of Representatives, well, all they've done is put out a call or put out a letter or, to find out the IG. What is that called? The person that's supposed to overlook. It's anyway, they were getting rid of all of them just recently.
Oh, they just got rid of like 5 of them. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah. He's on to 5, possibly about to get rid of a 6th.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the only thing that has to be overlooked. They have to overlook whatever they're doing in the Justice Department. But they've let, they don't care. They don't really care anymore. They'll do anything. And this comes out last night, Saturday night, when nobody's paying any attention to the news, except me, of course. I'm up. I've had a nap that day. I stay up all the time, just waiting. I'm like an eagle-eyed. Anyway, I'm ranting. I'm just ranting. I'm just so upset.
That's why. That's one of the reasons why we have you on here, and we love you. How do you feel about RBG's health?
Oh, I want to give her whatever organ in my body that still works, that I can save her. I want to save her.
I will just go carry her around. Like I will be your personal carrier.
Well, I'm sure she has those. I mean, I know she has bodyguards. They better keep her under guard because he will go and kill her. Ugh. I hate him so much. I'm so sorry. You were probably having a very nice show before you brought me on.
Dina had a little bit of a rant. I had a little bit of a rant.
I'm living with anti-maskers, and then I was going to get food, and there were 2 white men that walked into the store or into the restaurant and without masks, and I was like, nope. And then I go to another place, and then they had the guy making the food had it here, and I'm like, it does not work. And then I went to another place, and because I left, and the other guy there, and I was like, it doesn't work if it's not over your nose. And he goes,
What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're going
to burn it down.
That's why I think, now I know this is floating a little bit of a woo-woo thing. However, if he doesn't do anything about COVID, he's moved on. He's moved on from COVID. So he doesn't care that we are just going up and that we're never going to hit a plateau. He is wanting there to be this chaos in our country and to keep it going so he can declare martial law and take away our voting, take away our election, and stay. Nobody in the history of the United States of America has ever tried to do this. We would have been, we could have been, if anybody had tried, maybe we would have had a few more laws against it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But though, with the increasing, and Dina and I have talked about this a little bit, the increase, something in the nature, in the globe, and us as humans being a part of nature is happening. Like the spiritual awareness of people, it's growing. I can feel that coming from people. And also the idea that, and I really hit hard when I was listening to Russell Brand's podcast with Brené Brown, that you had told me that I have to listen to, even though sometimes I want to be like, oh my gosh, Brené Brown, I want to hate her because she's such like the stereotypical Southern, but she's so smart and she's so she just gets it. And in this podcast, her and Russell just kept going into this is really the last stand of white straight men running the things, and at any last stand, shit hits the fan. So I just hate that. I hate that it's going to get messier before we get to a really good place on this planet.
That's right.
If we can get there before Mother Nature gets us herself.
That's true. That's true. I mean, this is it's hard to put into words how I feel about this because I'm so old and I've just all these years never ever ever even other presidents that I have disliked, I didn't realize I only disliked them, you know. I didn't realize that there was a part of my body that could hate as much as I do. I really didn't get it, you know. It's beyond it's almost like you can't talk about anything else other than what's happening to us. You know?
And we're in a place where George W., who we all thought that that's not as bad as we could get, at a place where he is basically we know who him and Laura are voting for in November. So
it's like Mother Teresa now. Like we're like, oh, we didn't. And I never thought, like, I always felt like it wasn't George Bush that was doing anything. Like I didn't feel like anything was smart enough.
Yes, it was what's his name?
Rumsfeld. Although I'm now getting to think though that Bill Barr is probably a worse human being than Rumsfeld.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's just I didn't think I'd ever put that label on someone like because Rumsfeld is a horrible human being.
Right.
So
by the way, I love your hair.
Oh, thank you.
And I love your hair.
Thank you.
I had a photo shoot today, so I put on makeup and I put on hair
and you look good, babe.
Thanks.
You thought I was going to come on looking good. That's why you decided to.
You look good always.
But I came with what I had.
I love it.
With my hat in my hand.
This is usually very hard to do in the summer because I drench just like pour sweat. So let me talk. There's something that I've been toying around with because I'm like really delving deep into my spirituality. But don't you think that we needed Trump?
No.
But don't you think that he's peeling back the layers on all of this corporatized democracy?
It's going to take us not just 4 more years to get rid of, if we can get installed, anybody installed into the White House besides him and get him out. If we can, it's going to take longer than the next 4 years to recover from this.
Agreed.
It's our clean water, it's our clean air, it's all the things that we take for granted that he has now started, not started, he has dismantled over these 4 years. And with Putin loving every moment that we share in the fact that we are, going down for the 3rd time, he's, it just makes his heart sing, because he only ever wanted us to get to this place with chaos going on around us, No, I could have had somebody do it just a lot less than he has turned people against one another. Republicans and the non-wearing of masks and gloves and things. I don't think that people would be like this now. I just heard a story about Trader Joe's. They're making them change the labeling from Joe Grotto or something that's Italian, something Trader Jose. They want to all get rid of all that. I'm sorry. That does not offend me. And now, how far will it be taken? And that's giving them something to look at rather than the real problems that we are being taken over, that we're having our wherewithal. I mean, I can stay in my house. My house is, thank God, paid for. And I can just stay here, I guess, and never go anywhere because I'm so afraid of getting the virus, My girlfriend is in the hospital. Taryn, my friend Taryn. She's like got cancer, been stricken with it, and it's just an awful situation, and I'd like to go and see her and be around that, but I can't, Anyway,
So
sorry.
one of your daughters is a doctor.
Yes.
Is
Sorry.
she on the front lines with
Not
COVID?
not as bad, because the little hospital she works out in Thousand Oaks, they have some COVID cases, but not in any way near the ones that we have in downtown and, here in LA and all over. So, yeah, but it's just a terrible situation.
Speaking of, I can't say it's a terrible situation, but it's not the situation I was hoping for, but it is what we have. So with Biden, who are you hoping that he picks for his VP?
I've gone very long hoping it's Elizabeth Warren, because I think she really is the smartest person I have ever, man or woman, smartest person I have ever heard speak. And she has a way of everything. She's got a plan for everything. But if he gets Kamala, I'm fine with that too. And Susan Rice, I say fine. Whoever he'd like to have, I'll be happy to have them there. Except maybe I would like it to be someone that really understands the workings of the government. As much as I love Abrams, what's her name?
Stacey Abrams.
Stacey Abrams. As much as I adore her, she's gonna be backing up everybody. She's gonna be coming along. She has to beat that damn Kemp to get to be governor of Georgia. Yeah, right, Georgia. Atlanta,
yeah, Georgia.
Yeah. And Kemp is he's suing that wonderful mayor of Atlanta, who has had COVID. All of her whole family got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's phenomenal. So
yeah.
I hope he's prepared, because she'll run him down.
It's definitely like you see how he isn't reacting to any other guy, even a black guy. He's actively picking and antagonizing black women who are in leadership in Georgia, and it's just messed up.
I know.
How are you feeling about Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell in their races? Because I personally think they're both going to. I'm very hopeful, but I think Amy McGrath is going to take Mitch McConnell out. I'm going to go knock on doors in Kentucky.
Did you go? Have you been? Or are you going to go?
I'm going to go. I'm going to go closer to the election.
Yeah.
So.
Ann Coulter came out for Amy.
Yeah. Came out for who? Amy
McGrath.
Oh, McGrath. Yes.
Because the polls are so neck and neck with her, and
how can they be neck and neck with what we know about Mitch McConnell, who will not pass the voting bill to get it, give them funds to fight the suppression of voting? I mean,
but Ann, that's not real. That's all the fake news telling. That's not real.
Yeah.
They are good people working for the good of their constituency.
Yeah.
I have faith in all of the state of Kentucky, though, more than I ever had in life. And when they turn their governor blue and their other senator, this is we just need some examples in our country. In 2018, we had a lot of them, but it wasn't. We need, And this isn't, for me, I say this, and this isn't even, I'm not saying this from a political standpoint. I'm saying it for the humanitarian standpoint of this isn't, they could all be Republicans. And if they were as good, in doing the good, I'd be okay, let's vote for them. But
it's amazing though, that I keep trying to hold on to the idea that America has gone through a bunch of stuff. You know, we've gone through world wars, we've gone through other famines and pestilence, and you know the virus, the what was it, 1918, something like that.
Yeah.
And we recovered. It just takes time, but we have to be able to get him out. And all those crooks, there are no people who have not been put in jail or of his administration. Look at those people around him. Everybody. I mean, they've just been boom, 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 boom. You know, guilty, and he's guilty too.
Yeah.
And I just got today in the mail Mary Trump's book. Mary Trump's book.
I talked about it last week, but I'm going to start reading it next week. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There, I saw a TikTok of this lady who was like, she was laughing. She couldn't even spit it out. She was just laughing. She goes, she said that he eats boogers. I started laughing, and I'm like, oh my God, that is amazing.
He really does, though. Like, that's not shocking at all.
Really? He eats boogers?
Apparently, that's in the book. It's so funny. I can't wait.
I could see him being the person next to me in traffic and looking over, like on the 605, and looking over and like, did that man just pick his booger and eat it? Like, I could see that being Donald Trump.
Oh God.
It's so good.
I love that thing that they have about Eric. It's a meme or something where he's got a book. It's a book by Eric Trump. I eat paste.
Love it. And where can people find you?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the Sorted Lives reunion or anything.
This is my plan. Nobody knows this yet.
Yeah.
But we're gonna wrap up the show, and then I'm gonna keep you in the thing. After we wrap up, we're gonna do a recording for all those people who sign up for the D&G Insider, the newsletter. You get special content, and this will be an extended chat with Ann Walker today.
Will I be on camera for all those people?
Yeah.
Oh, well, what the fuck?
They gonna love you.
Also, we're just going to have you back on very soon.
Yes.
For sure.
And I promise I will look a lot like her, the other girl there.
We love you any way you look.
I love you.
We're going to ask you to hang on. Where can people find you or contact you?
What would that be? Ann Walker online at gmail.com.
Oh, you're just giving people your email address.
That's not my real email. I mean, it's an email that I get stuff, but that's not the personal email.
Love it.
How do you mean find me?
On social.
I guess Twitter. They can find me on Ann Walker Show.
Okay.
Isn't that what it was? AnnWalkerShow.com.
I think so. I was trying to find everything, and so you can search on Facebook, Ann Walker Show. I'm
on Facebook.
And then Twitter. Yeah. Oh, so Ann Walker on Facebook.
I think.
Go to Twitter.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're gonna let you go, but stay around because we'll chat to you again in just a moment.
Do I have time to put on makeup? No.
You have about 10 minutes, maybe.
No, I'm not doing it.
And this may take a lot longer than 10 minutes. So, all right. So, Ann Walker, mwah.
I love you both.
With you, love you.
Okay.
All right. All righty. So we're gonna wrap up the show real quickly. Let's do this one. You have a little time?
I just made a little time.
Good. I forgot. All right. Is that really news? Greg, do you have anything for Is That Really News?
I don't have anything
All
for
right.
us.
Well, I've got two things, and then we're going to wrap up the show. Experts say why you should always take photos of your appliances before you go out of the house.
Why?
So, and this is why. They're like, you should take pictures of your... And I was like, are they doing it because like somebody may come in and use your stove or steal your blender or something? And they're like, no. the crux of the thing, the whole article, it sounded so catastrophized, but experts say that you should take pictures of your appliances so that when you're on a trip, you don't have to think, oh my God, my house is going to burn down, because you know that you turn everything off. So you take, who would do that?
And also, just then, if you were that needy and that reliant on having to take pictures of it,
right? Is that really news, though?
Oh, that's just the news is that we're getting dumber and dumber.
Word.
Hi.
My favorite thing, final thing, a post officer, postal clerk, whatever they call them posties in the UK, had an unexpected note for a couple struggling to choose the color of their front door. So this couple was like, we're gonna change the color of our door, but we don't know what to do. So they did the little test stripes on the door, right? So the postal clerk left a note that said, second green up from the bottom of the door looks great. It looks the best. So,
okay.
And I thought that was brilliant and sweet.
I've recently become best friends with my postal woman, or my mail delivery woman, and she's amazing. And she would do that. I love that. Like, yeah,
that's so great.
I think that's news.
I do too. I think it's good news, and we needed to hear that. So awesome. Anything coming up, Greg?
I was going to announce something this week, but I'll announce it next week.
Okay. Send me a graphic. So on
There's
Thursday,
no graphic to it.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about it next week. So on Thursday night at 7:30 Central, so that'll be 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 New York time. What do you call that?
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern. Lalita D from the Bay Area is going to be hosting with Sarah Volpio, Janice Rodriguez, Jake Knoll, and then Miami from Los Angeles.
That's
right there.
It's an amazing lineup.
Oh my God, it's such a good lineup. And the next one is even better. And you'll find that out next week. And then next week, we're going to have this amazing woman, Christine Levine, who has been seen on Portlandia. She also headlined the Lady Laughs Comedy Festival in Wichita, and that's how we met. But she's my heart, and she's amazing. So she's going to be really fun to have on the show.
In Portlandia, she's the one in the book club, right?
Yes.
That everyone kind of dismisses.
Yes, the mousy sad one. I was like, oh my God, poor Christine. So we are really excited about that. Follow us on the socials, everyone.
Yeah, it's Sunday night. I hope you enjoy your night. And if you listen to us in the morning, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or whenever.
So before we go, Lolita D said that's the pictures is the worst advice ever. Just take your appliances with you if you're concerned. If you're that concerned, I love it. Yeah. All right, everyone. So next week, join us here. Go to DinaandGregShow.com. GREGG, 2 G's on the end. DinaandGregShow.com to sign up for the Insider, and you'll get extra content that will be going up to the Insider list.
Is your back hurting from carrying me this entire show?
No, I didn't feel like I was carrying you. You're light as a feather.
Ooh.
All right,
Bye,
everyone. Thank you so
everyone.
much. Have a great week. See you next week.
Take me back to the nights we felt alive, picking up the pieces on a summer night. I didn't know that I would feel just like my heart's on fire whenever I'm with you. Cause we go back in time, the thrills I miss, and all the things I wish we did. All I know is that I need somebody